Hey everyone, my name is Jillian Wilson. I'm a freshman at UMass Dartmouth. I'm in Professor Burke's class, Business 101 MIS. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Charlton story, which is a book right here that we had to read for class. And it's by Earl Perry Charlton II and George Winius, I want to say, something like that. And basically just like talks about Charlton's like business tactics, like how he succeeded in life and like earned a bunch of money, which is what, we all want to do. So I would recommend it starters for anyone who's a business major or just like yeah, it's a great book. But anyway, so it starts off and it talks about how he was born June 19th, 1963 in Chester, Connecticut. His father was actually James D. Charlton, and he was a successful blacksmith. His mom, I think her name was Lydia, was a stay-at-home mom, and their family like wasn't the wealthiest, but like, I mean, they were okay, I guess, financial wise. Um, Charlton dropped out of high school, which was normal at the time. It wasn't like a big deal. Whereas if it was now, you wouldn't be able to get a job. Back then, you could like get a job without a degree. And he wanted to become a merchant, so he moved from Connecticut to Boston. And the only way he like could afford to do that was because previously he was an errand boy and a cattle drover. And in Boston, he worked on Asylum Street, which was a like in a blah, 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 in Asylum Street or on Asylum Street. Yeah, on Asylum Street. There was a retail store where he worked for 8 years, and he saved all his money that he made there. And while working there, he like went out and built clients, which is called networking, and he just like made personal relationships with them. And then he met his first business partner, Seymour Knox, and also Frank and Charles Woolworth. Earl took all the money that he saved at his retail job and took a risk and bought the store's like merchandise and buildings rent for their new store. And this is where he started the 5 and 10 cent store. The first 5 and 10 cent store was in Fall River, Massachusetts, and it was so successful that every day like they would run out of merchandise, so he would have to restock the store. So it was like very successful. Um, the store was so popular that it spread throughout the country and like even up towards Canada. And Earl and Knox, in 1896, on New Year's Day, they ended their partnership. But don't worry, they still stayed lifelong friends. Um, in 1899, Earl merged into business with Woolworth and became even more successful because basically they went out west and like opened up stores out there because all of their competitors were up in like the northeast, yeah, east, and um, so like they spread out west and they became even more successful than their previous business, and this was called the Great Merger. And Charlton was the VP of this company, and Woolworth was the president. He ran these stores from his office in Fall River with the help of Simon Capstein, which was like this really trustworthy guy that he had. And in California, Earl had the most popular stores, mainly in like Los Angeles and like San Francisco. He saw like the most profit there. On his 26th birthday, he married Ida Mae Stein and had 3 children eventually. At this point in life, he had like the biggest chain store in the country, which is really good. And then unfortunately, he died in 1930. But he did live on through like donating his money through charities, which is nice and everything. And he like left lots of money to the state. I think it was like $32 million, and he left money to his family and like $3 million to like a specific charity. And his partner, Woolworth, left all his money to his family, like all of it. And he left 50 million to his granddaughter Barbara in particular. So she is living great right now. Yeah. And Earl donated to like charities actually in Fall River. One of them in particular was the Truesdale Hospital, and they were able, because of Charlton, to build like this whole surgery wing, and like eventually afterwards rename like the whole entire hospital after him. So it's now called the Charlton Memorial Hospital. And he also donated to the Bradford Textile School, and it was like put away or like put in a trust fund. And I guess like years later they came across it, and in 1991 the South, which was now known as the Southeastern Mass University, was renamed to UMass Dartmouth, which is where I go now. And $80,000 worth of grants were found and given as scholarships to students that go here. I guess I would say them. What else? I say Earl is a good example of becoming like a successful businessman, like because like he was an entrepreneur, which is a risk taker, and it like showed me, and I think it's going to show anyone who reads it really, how if you take a risk in life that you can like set yourself apart and like become successful, and that's like exactly what he did. But the only thing, like the only key, is that like Charlton, you have to plan everything out step by step, and to like see if you're setting yourself up for failure or not. You don't want to like put all your eggs in one basket, if you will. But I don't know. He's a really good role model for business students and just people in general at becoming successful. And that's my book review. I hope you guys like it, especially you, Professor Burke. Have a great day, guys. Cass is hi.
Oh, wrong way.
Okay.